Hi scholars! We're going to read chapter 4 today, which is about fish. I can read this caption down here. It says, fish come in many sizes and colors. And here are some examples. Just a few examples of all the different kinds of fish there are. Rattenborough here again. You have learned that scientists study the characteristics of animals. They do this to divide the animal kingdom into different groups, such as mammals and reptiles. Today you're going to learn about another group of animals within the animal kingdom, fish. Fish are aquatic animals, meaning that they spend their lives underwater. Most fish are cold-blooded. Their body temperature changes with the temperature of the water. Fish are also vertebrates. In fact, they are the largest group of animals on Earth that are vertebrates. Earth is covered mostly by water, so it makes sense fish are the most common vertebrates. There are many different types and sizes of fish. All right, the first new word that we're going to add to our glossary today, you can get a new paper or keep adding to what we were working on with chapter 3. So I'm going to write the word down, aquatic, A-Q-U-A-T-I-C. Underline the vowels. I see A, Q, no, U, yes, A, yes, T, no, I, yes, C, no. So I found 1, 2, 3, 4 vowels in this word, but there are actually only 3 vowel sounds. Aquatic, 3 vowel sounds. And something that is aquatic is living, growing, or found in the water. And let's see, I'm just going to draw some little water, maybe some fish, some other things that are aquatic to help me put a picture of that in my mind to remember. So we've got a column for the words, a column for the definitions, and a column for the picture, just like this. If you need to pause to catch up, feel free. Moving on to the next word, oxygen. O-X-Y-G-E-N. So we've got an O as a vowel, oxygen. That Y is actually acting like a vowel sound. Oxygen. So there's 3 syllables. Oxygen is a colorless gas that animals must breathe to stay alive. So you actually right at this second are breathing in oxygen. If there was no oxygen to breathe, we would not be able to stay alive. And how can we draw a colorless gas? Let's draw a little nose. And then we'll draw some, kind of looks like a mustache, but we'll draw some colorless gas that we're breathing in. All right, this next word is gill. We know that sometimes when G is followed by I, E, or Y, it says the J, like a J sound. This one does not. So this word is gill. Gill. It's 1 vowel sound, that letter I. And a gill is one of a pair of organs fish use to breathe underwater. If you have more than 1 gill, you add an S suffix to make it gills. Let me write down the definition. 1 of a pair of organs fish use to breathe underwater. I cannot breathe underwater because I do not have gills. The next word, let's go back here. And so gills on a fish, let me draw my little fishy. So here's my fish's body. The gills kind of look like little slits, little cuts that come open on the side. We'll see some more photographs of that later that you can add to that with. This word is fin, F-I-N, 1 vowel sound, that short I, And a fin is a bony spine. Remember, the spine is the backbone. We learned that in the last chapter. Covered with skin that sticks out from a fish's body and helps it swim. So sometimes we kind of think of fins like arms and legs, but this fin is actually a part of the spine, the backbone. It's really interesting and it helps them to swim. So let's look at another little fish. And I'm gonna draw an arrow to my fish's fin, just like that. So I can we have more than one fin. We add the suffix s to make it plural, so there's more than one fins. All right, this is a pretty common word that you probably see a lot. S-C-H-O-O-L is school, but school is actually a multiple meaning word. So that CH is making the k sound. Usually CH says ch. In this case, it's saying k, like a K. And then we have two O's together, so that vowel pair is going to say oo, school. And I wonder, why are we having to learn about school in a chapter about fish? School is a large group of fish or other aquatic animals that swim together. Let me write that down. Or other aquatic animals that swim together. If there's more than one school of fish, you could add an S to talk about schools of fish. So I think I'm just going to draw lots of little fish together. To remember that a school is a large group of fish. Here's my school of fish. This next word is also fairly common. This word is ocean. We also know that C sometimes says like an S sound when it's followed by an E, I, or Y. In this case, this word does not follow that rule. So ocean, you do have kind of a sh sound there. That's something that we haven't really talked about, and we'll think more about that rule later. In Spanish, you do pronounce it oceano, but in English, it makes a different sound, ocean. And an ocean, we know, is an enormous body of salt water. Okay, and my ocean, I'm gonna draw some little waves. An enormous body of salt water. Ocean. Migrate. M-I-G-R-A-T-E. Migrate has two vowel sounds. That E on the end does not make a sound, but it controls the A and makes it a long A sound. When we migrate, it means to travel back and forth from one place to another. And forth from one place to another. I've been seeing a lot more birds and butterflies come out in the spring because they have migrated back to Texas from where they were before. So that was actually our last word. We should have 7 new words on our glossary that we can save for our next chapter next time. Remember to follow along as I read. If you lose your spot, you can pause the video and go back to find where we are and continue. Fish lay eggs underwater. They also eat and sleep underwater. Fish do not sleep in the same way mammals sleep. Fish can't close their eyes because they don't have eyelids. When they sleep, they float or find a place to hide while they rest. Like other animals, fish need to breathe oxygen. But fish do not have lungs like people, and they do not breathe oxygen from the air. Instead, they have gills just behind their heads. Fish gills take oxygen out of the water so that fish can breathe. But gills do not work well outside water. They cannot take oxygen out of the air. A fish will die quickly, within several minutes, if it is removed from water. Fish have scales that cover their skin. Scales are rounded and smooth, and there is usually an inner and outer layer. The scales protect the skin and help fish move easily through the water. Fish also use the different fins on their body and their tails to swim. They are able to glide through the water, rapidly changing directions by using their fins and tail. So in our diagram over on the side, Rattenborough is showing us that these are the fins. This is the tail. So they're labeling those things differently. There's an up close zoom in on the scales. And here, this is the gills. Like I said, there's a little slit there, and it kind of moves back and forth while it filters the oxygen out of the water. Most fish live in salt water because most water on Earth is salty. Tropical fish that live in the warm ocean are very colorful. They look as if an artist painted interesting patterns on their bodies. Many fish also live in freshwater, including streams, rivers, lakes, and ponds. And with our photograph, the caption said these tropical fish live in a saltwater habitat. Remember, a habitat is a place where a creature lives. Some fish travel in groups called schools. One type of fish that travels in schools is salmon. Salmon live in both saltwater and freshwater. Some types of salmon are born in freshwater streams and rivers. After about a year, they make their way to the ocean where they live for 1 to 5 years. Then they migrate back to the exact same stream where they were born. They lay eggs and the life cycle begins again. Salmon don't use a map to help them find their way home. Most scientists think they use their strong sense of smell to find their way. They swim upstream against the river's current, sometimes swimming hundreds of miles. They leap over waterfalls and rocks to get to the same stream where they were born. They go through all this hard work to reach their home to lay their eggs. Hopefully along the way, a grizzly bear or fisherman won't catch them first. It just so happens a salmon leaping over a waterfall to get upstream to lay its eggs must watch out for grizzly bears. All right, that's the end of this chapter about fish. These questions will also be on the Google Classroom for you to access and look at. But if you need to use this as a resource, you can go back to the parts of the text that you need, pause the video, and read to find text evidence. So number 1, what does the word aquatic mean? Oh, we already have that in our glossary, easy. Number 2, why can't fish close their eyes? Might have to go back to the text for that one. Number 3, explain how fish breathe in oxygen. How is that different from how you breathe in oxygen? Number 4, some fish travel in groups called blank. I think that one might be in our glossary too. Explain how salmon travel home to lay their eggs. Do all fish live in the ocean? Are fish vertebrates or invertebrates? All right, so those questions can be uploaded to the Google Classroom. Thank you guys so much for working hard, and I'll see you soon.